Osrc News at 7. Governor Aiyedatiwa approves new road projects, appoints first monarch for Agada Balbo. Security agencies in Ondo State assure citizens of adequate security as crossover moment to 2026 draws closer. Peter Obi dumps Labour Party, rallies opposition for 2027 general election. And from the foreign scene, Peru train crash kills driver, injures 40 passengers. Good evening and welcome to the news. I am Obi Chukwemeka Oti and compliments of the season. Ondo State Government says civil servants will resume work on Monday, January 5, 2026, after the New Year celebration. This follows the declaration of a work-free day on Friday, January 2, designed to give workers adequate time to return from the New Year holiday. This was disclosed by the head of service, Mr. Bayo Phillips, after the State Executive Council meeting held on Tuesday, presided over by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. In another development, the Commissioner for Infrastructure, Lands and Housing, Abiola Olawoye, disclosed that projects such as the 24-kilometer Aboto Atijere Road and a 1-kilometer Sabomi Road in Eseodo has been approved by the Cabinet. Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Alhaji Amidu Takuro, announced the appointment of Owe Kemeke as the pioneer Amanewe of Agada Wombo in Esodo local government area.
What happened to be the last escrow of the year 2025, the government, the Executive State Council of Ondo State, have approved the appointment of His Royal Highness Owe Kekemeke as the pioneer Amananawe of Agada Balbo in the the local government area of Osrc State. Also, in line with the promise of the government of Ondo State, that the government will be ready to fill all vacant stools, provided that the people of the community are ready to commence the process in their own community. The government are ready to partner with them to make sure they have their king, and the government have graciously approved warrant chiefs for the appointment of a new Alade Okun of Alade Idari.
So the school construction of Aboto Atijere, we ratify it. And we also approve construction of 1 kilometer road at Eseodo, Sadom, recently. And that Aboto Atijere is about 24-kilometer road, and we ratify it at the ESCO level today.
Council considered and approved Friday, January 2, 2026 as work-free day for public servants in the state. The essence of the approval is to enable workers to travel back to their duty stations after the New Year holiday. And as the head of service, this is very cheering for our workers. Work will now resume on Monday, January 5, 2026. And that is going to be the day we are going to hold our first work day prayer meeting, which is very habitual. So our workers are to note
In the meantime, security agencies in Ondo State say worshippers and travelers need not panic about safety as the year 2025 winds down. Ondo State Police Command and other sister agencies gave the assurance, informing residents that worship centers as well as public places are adequately secured. Omoriola Ugbenji has details.
End of year festivities often ushering a spike in crime as opportunists exploit the season for illicit gains. This leads to heightened incidents of pickpocketing, armed robbery, kidnapping, and bold assaults on worshippers gathered in prayer. Every 31st of December, tension usually runs high as worshippers troop to churches, mosques, and gathering spots to pray their way into the new year. Ondo State is not an exception, hence the need for heightened security arrangements to protect lives and property. To this end, the State Commissioner of Police, Adebowale Lawal, said the command has put all security arrangements in place across the 3 senatorial districts of the state.
We have put in place security arrangements to ensure that people go about their business transaction, and the Inspector of Police assisted with additional gun boats that's deployed to the waterways. So that's Ondo South now. Ondo South is covered. And don't forget, some months ago, the government gave us some vehicles too. About 10 vehicles are still not stopped to patrol within the state.
The Public Relations Officer of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Ondo State Command, Daniel Aidamembo, reaffirmed that the Corps is leaving no stone unturned in securing residents.
We envisage that we'll have crowds in Ondo State, and so our targets for this period are all spots. We map out some areas, places like shopping malls, recreational center, worship places, and motor parks. These are places where you have crowds. Crowds will be gathering at these places. So we have our surveillance team. Our surveillance team are those ones without uniform. You just see them mix with the crowd, elicit information so that we can act promptly.
On the part of the state security outfit, Amotekun, its commander, Adetunji Adeleye, assured residents of their safety, noting that the agency is collaborating with sister security agencies, including those in neighboring states, to keep Ondo State safe.
In the 18 local governments, and we have enhanced border patrol. The enhanced border patrol is to guarantee safety of lives and property in areas where we don't have Amotekun. In the other side, like the Akinu end, it's Kogi. So what we do is to mount and check. The same thing is done in the forest area where we share boundary with Edo, and on the main Ifon, the new road. But for the other states where we have borders with Ogun and Osun and Ekiti, we already have joint patrol of Ogun Ondo, Ekiti Ondo, Osun Ondo, border patrols.
The security agencies want criminal elements to desist from crime, stressing that they are working collectively to deal decisively with any form of threat to peace.
I enjoy relative peace in Ondo State, and this is not by coincidence because of the collaborative, that synergy, that robust synergy existing between Nigerian police and other security agencies, as well as other non-state actors. That's why I joined that, and with the support of the governor as well as our IG and other heads of security agencies.
We are jointly collaborating, trying to ensure that the travelers, people coming into Ondo State and people going out of Ondo State, are protected, even though we have pockets of incidences here and there. But we can assure the people of Ondo State that this military season, they can sleep with their 2 eyes closed.
So we want to reassure residents and commuters that Amotekun, in collaboration with all other security agencies, are fully on ground to guarantee safety of lives and property during this holiday.
With the cooperation of citizens, especially in reporting suspicious movements, it is hoped that Ondo State will enjoy a peaceful and crisis-free New Year celebration. Omoriola Humbeji, Osrc News.
In part 2, after the break, Peter Obi dumps Labour Party, rallies opposition for 2027 general election. Join us again.
Merry Christmas, Nigeria!
Glow Unlimited.
Beautiful, it's your name. Wonderful is what you are to me. Ever me kira for my mommy.
Every mom, a treasure beyond measure. 3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Thank you for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV. And on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel, OSRC TV Ondo. Now to the rest of the news. With just a few hours to the new year, car parks are recording increased passenger movement as travelers head to various destinations to celebrate with family and friends. This is even as the Ondo State government has declared January 2 a public holiday to allow traveling workers more time to recoup after the festivities. Although many passengers lament the hike in transport fares, they insist the increase will not deter them from spending the new year with loved ones. Blessing Obe reports.
Across major car parks in Akure, the Ondo State capital, travelers are seen boarding vehicles en route to different parts of the country for the New Year celebrations. With only a few hours to the year 2026, commercial drivers and park chairmen say passenger turnout remains high, although slightly lower than figures recorded during the Christmas rush.
Pẹ̀lú bí èrò ṣe ń wọlé torí ó bẹ́tà ju last year. Tabari ń sìn tabari gbogbo rẹ̀ rí pé gbogbo ẹ̀ ń lọ nírọ̀wọ́ nírọ̀sẹ̀. A máa ń bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ kán máa lọ máa wọ sọ́lẹ̀ kán máa wá sí park kán máa wọ mọ́tò. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ fún àwọn dẹ́rẹ́bà wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lákòókò ilé ọdún yìí ọ̀ọ́ká tó ṣe ọdún kan pé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ sáré kán máa lọ díẹ̀díẹ̀ torí ọ̀nà máa bísí lásìkò yìí so gbogbo náà la máa fún ní orientation láti kán máa sáré.
Despite the rise in transport fares, particularly on major routes out of the state, many passengers say welcoming the new year with family outweighs the financial burden.
I'm heading to Lagos to see my parents, then back to Akure again. I would suggest you should reduce the content of message or load they carry, just to make the vehicle light and just avoid unseen accidents that might occur on the road.
Park chairman advised drivers and passengers to avoid speeding beyond the normal limit and overcrowding, while adhering strictly to traffic rules to ensure safe journeys.
Tí èrò bá ti wọlé, mọ́tò tó bá yẹ kó overload máa dúró àwé óyá èrò ẹ ti pé kúrò ń bẹ̀ jẹ́ kí èrò yìí jẹ́ kí mọ́tò jẹ́ kó move jẹ́ kí olómi kó gbé ẹrù yìí ò lè gbé mọ́ àwọn ẹrù tó ní ìdí nìyẹn tí mo fi wà mẹ́rẹ̀ bá mi ní ìdí ọkọ̀ for now. So àgbà kẹ́nìbọ̀dì gbé overload bóyá àwọn di ẹrù sókè àbó ń di ìsàlẹ̀ kò ṣàyè wọn. Àwọn dẹ́rẹ́bà wa máa bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ a dẹ̀ máa ń dá wọn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àwọn ọ̀gá máa ń dá wọn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní òrèkóòrè àwọn road safety gan máa ń dá wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ a kì í fẹ́ kán sáré wọn kì í sáré kọjá ibì kankan ọlọ́mọdé arógun àkóbá.
As the countdown to 2026 begins, travelers say, regardless of the cost, they are determined to usher in the new year in the company of friends and family. Blessingly, Osrc News.
In the meantime, the withdrawal of fuel subsidy by the federal government when President Bola Tinubu assumed office had resulted in a sharp rise in petrol prices, forcing commercial drivers across the country to increase transport fares. Despite a noticeable drop in pump prices, commuters in Ondo State say transport costs have remained high. Our correspondent Sunday Adeyanju reports.
The removal of fuel subsidy in 2023 sent shockwaves through Nigeria's transport sector, pushing the price of petrol to as high as 1,300 per litre in some areas. In response, commercial drivers in Ondo State sharply increased transport fares, blaming the hike on soaring fuel prices and rising operational costs. For months, commuters adjusted to these increased fares as daily transportation became a major strain on household incomes. However, recent adjustments in downstream petroleum sector have seen petrol prices decline, with pump prices now selling for between 720 naira and 790 naira per litre at most filling stations across the state. Despite this reduction, transport fares have largely remained unchanged. Findings from major parks across the state reveal that commuters are still paying the same fares introduced when fuel prices peaked, sparking widespread frustration.
This transportation, the money is getting too much because some of that, you doesn't have money. How you travel? How you see other people out? The things cost too much, so the government should work on it.
Many transport operators argue that lowering fares is not feasible, citing persistent increases in vehicle maintenance costs, spare parts, multiple levies, and insurance premiums.
Fuel is 1% of what the vehicle is using. There is reduction in fuel, no reduction in tire. Inflation is in the engine, oil, and other part of the vehicle. And the road is not good. There is no way you will go to a travel and come back that you will not repair your vehicle. So that is why there is no deduction in vehicle prices. So tire is related. The vehicle we are talking about is times 4 of what we were buying before. So and before we can gather money, and there is no passenger like before. I don't think we can reduce vehicle prices now for now. But if government make it easier for us in tire side, about the engine oil and other parts, so we can reduce the price.
A visit to Ado Ikere Motor Park shows commuters openly expressing dissatisfaction, accusing drivers of failing to reflect the reduced fuel prices in their charges. Commuters insist that any relief from lower fuel prices is meaningless unless it translates into reduced daily transport costs.
At least owó epo tí ń wálẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ báyìí ẹ jẹ́ kó mọ́tò náà kó reduce díẹ̀díẹ̀ náà káwa náà mọ kó ráyè favour àwa méjèèjì.
So at least there should be a slight increase on the price of the transport. I know that we maintain the tax. They have this to
Some transporters, however, say they are willing to review fares if petrol prices continue to fall and remain stable, noting that frequent price fluctuations make fare adjustment difficult.
By January, àwọn máa consider náà àti nípa owó mọ́tò àwọn
As residents call for fairer transport fares that reflect current fuel prices, stakeholders call for stronger engagement between government authority, transport unions and operators to ensure transparency, balance and relief for commuters. Sunday Adeyanju, Osrc News.
President Bola Tinubu has insisted that the new tax laws will take effect on January 1 as planned. We'll bring you details of this and more in a moment. Join us again.
Beautiful, it's your name. Wonderful is what you are to me. Eba mi kira fún mama mi. Orisha mi ya o, kò sí láyé.
Every mom, a treasure beyond measure. 3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Merry Christmas, Nigeria!
Glow Unlimited.
Full House Refreshment is goodness to go round. The Peak Yogurt Drink 1 liter Full House pack with more refreshment, which contains fresh cow milk. Enjoy Full House goodness filled with essential vitamin and minerals. Peak, reach for your peak.
Glad to know you're still there. President Bola Tinubu has insisted that the new tax laws will take effect on January 1, 2026 as planned. This came as former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the People's Democratic Party (PDP) slammed the president, describing the move as hasty and insensitive amid ongoing controversies surrounding these alleged alterations to the legislation. Tinubu said in a statement that the new tax laws, including those that took effect on June 26, 2025, and the remaining acts scheduled to commence on January 1, 2026, will continue as planned. He explained that the reforms are a once-in-a-generation opportunity to build a fair, competitive, and robust fiscal foundation for the country. The president emphasized his administration's unwavering commitment to due process and the integrity of enacted laws. Former Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 general elections, Peter Obi, has formally defected to the African Democratic Congress (ADC). Obi announced his defection in Enugu, where he delivered a New Year address accusing the current political leadership of state capture, economic mismanagement, and systematic erosion of democratic values. Obi issued a warning over the integrity of future elections, insisting that reforms of the electoral system were non-negotiable. He cautioned against the attempts to rig the 2027 general elections. The National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRA, has sealed the Sunseed Oil Facility in Zaria, Kaduna State, in a decisive move aimed at addressing environmental concerns. According to NESRA Director General Innocent Bariko, the enforcement exercise was a response to reports of persistent air pollution caused by excessive air emissions from the facility in a flagrant violation of national environmental regulations, which provide for the installation of pollution abatement equipment and cleaner production. He said the enforcement action is in line with the commitment of NESRA to ensure industrial compliance and the protection of the public from the hazardous effects of unregulated industrial discharges. Professor Bariko warned industrial operators to ensure full compliance with national environmental regulations and avoid actions that impact negatively on the health of citizens and the environment. NESRA has in recent years intensified enforcement actions against industries found to be operating in breach of Nigeria's environmental laws, particularly those relating to air quality, effluent discharge, and waste management. Moving on to the foreign scene, King Charles III of the United Kingdom has appointed Nigeria's Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, a commander of the Royal Victorian Order, in recognition of his distinguished service, particularly his long-standing contribution to youth development through the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award. The honor places Edun among a select group of Nigerians recognized with a rare distinction. He joins the exclusive list of recipients with former Commonwealth Secretary General Chief Emeka Anyoko, who was similarly honored. The appointment underscores both the exclusivity of the Royal Victorian Order and its significance in acknowledging exceptional service to the British monarch and the Commonwealth, especially in advancing international youth empowerment initiatives. Reacting to the honor, President Bola Tinubu congratulated Edun, describing the recognition well-deserved. A train driver has died and at least 40 people sustained injuries in a head-on rail collision near Peru's most popular tourist attraction, Machu Picchu. Two trains collided on the single track leading to the ancient Inca town. The injured people had been transferred to a medical facility in the nearby city of Cusco. The U.S. Embassy in Peru said U.S. citizens were injured in the crash, while the UK Foreign Office disclosed that it was supporting a number of British nationals involved. The collision occurred on the track linking Ollantaytambo Station and Aguascalientes, the closest town to Machu Picchu. To round up the news tonight, here again are the major highlights. We told you that Ondo State government has approved the construction of 24-kilometer Aboto-Otijere Road, as well as the Sabome Road in Eseodo Council area. This was disclosed after the State Executive Council meeting presided over by Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa. We also told you that with less than 5 hours to the 2026, security agencies have assured Ondo State citizens of adequate security cover all through the festive period. And from the foreign scene, a train driver has died in a head-on rail collision in Peru's tourist center, Machu Picchu. That's the news tonight. Many thanks for watching, and Happy New Year in a bit. Good evening.